Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
Made daily. No. If we don't have all the bells and whistles, we can't do it like that.
Wait, hold on. We have to start this over. Hold on, because I don't have it anymore. What the fuck?
Wow, you had one job amongst the other 18, but you had one job.
How did I record over that? I got 3 Ron Murray drops in here and no fresh. Oh, please. I don't believe this.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
You know what? Hold on. I have the intro.
Yeah, just hit the button.
All right.
Just don't. Come on, man.
Let's try this again.
From the top.
Welcome to the Yeah, we won't do it like that. We're gonna do it like this here. Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
Made daily with organic, farm to table, localized, neuralized, sterilized, Scotch guarded for 2020 repellent, available online, shipped via Amazon, not available on Sundays, but now available on thebeastradio.com. Broken Pencil Logic. You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
Swahab.
Yes, sir.
My Swahab.
At the coffee table.
What up, man?
Man, it's another day in the jungle, and we out here distributing Broken Pencil Logic like the old school paper boys.
Yeah, man. Today
riding through like the Nintendo cartridge, just throwing papers. Here's some logic for you. Here's some logic for you. Here's some logic for you. Put your logic in the bushes. All of that, straight like that.
Yeah. Today is Friday, March 31st. Yeah, my lord.
Yeah, my lord.
I said, yeah, my lord.
Yeah, my lord.
20 and 20. Tree.
Wiggle wee, convenient. Bring me your dinner bucket. Domino's players around the world know what I just did. Some of y'all are like, what? Dinner bucket? Don't worry about it. The bank will let us slide. Just chill.
Give me an amen.
Amen.
There it is. Happy WrestleMania Eve for you, my man.
Happy WrestleMania Eve to you too.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
We're either going to be pleasantly surprised, unmitigatedly pissed off, or yawned to death. One of those 3 things are possible.
What you have to do
are definitely possible.
I'm going to let this be known to all of the pencil pushers who are watching, everyone who's joining us around the world, wherever you're streaming the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip hop. This weekend, you have to approach the festivities of everything that you watch and digest content-wise. You have to approach it with a sense of humor. If you are not able to see the humor in what happens over the next 3-4 days, you're not going to have a good time.
There's going to be probably just on television 20 hours of consumable product.
At least, because WrestleMania is 2 nights. Each night's going to be
4 hours.
4 hours. So that's a hot 8. You got Ring of Honor Supercard. You got NXT Stand and Deliver. I will not be watching that because I am sticking to my guns and my word. I will not watch NXT. I forgot what demands I made to go back to watching it, but whatever it is, they haven't been.
I have one match I care for, and I will be watching for that one match only.
Mello versus Breaker.
And that come on, man.
I mean,
that's it. That's the one.
That might be one of those like I go back and like catch on YouTube or something, but I'm not going to, because 100% I'm sticking to my guns and I'm not watching NXT. Ever since they changed over the logo and that whole thing, and then they fired everybody and cut a bunch of people and it became Nickelodeon, I'm good, fam.
Well, they went back to like some kind of variation derivative of black and gold. However,
the Kiki Waka Wrestling Federation.
Kiki Waka. Wow.
People see adults with parents. Well, not adults with parents, adults with children. Now, if you have parents, that's a bonus. But adults with children,
it's on your shoe. It's on your shoe.
Kiki Waka, yeah, straight like that.
Yo, you may notice that we have a little bit of different garb on today.
Yeah, I have my my trusty New Era Broken Pencil Booking Company exclusive jersey,
which I had on the last episode as well.
We're not sharing jerseys. We each have our own.
No, in multiples.
Multiples. You feel me?
This is my first edition, one of two.
Ooh.
No, take it back. We had about 15. We had about 15.
Oh yeah. We had a
run.
We did pre-orders. Yeah.
This is the OG BPBC t-shirt. This
Super OG.
Season 1 like action. Like
that should let y'all know how many hues of green we've gone through over
the cameras would never tell. But
it all goes together at this point. But we had that situation where the green I decided to design everything with was not available anywhere, in thread, in vinyl,
not even online, and not even via Amazon or eBay.
Them shits don't exist.
But the black DuRag energy of the day is dedicated to the rumor that Vincent Kennedy has stepped back into the building and acted an ass on creative.
Is that why we're doing this? I thought we were doing this because the Hurt Business was on their way back.
we can celebrate that too. But
who sent out the memo? Like, who's in charge of this?
I don't think there was a memo. I'm just telling you, like, my reason for popping off for the black DuRag energy.
We are not running a sloppy shop. There will be memos going out from here on out.
This is a fact. Speaking of
HR has got to do a better job.
Speaking of sloppy shop, we're here for a long time. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
Is your cape flapping or no? Pause. They didn't even require.
If you must know, there's no knot back there. Nothing. It's whoosh.
Look, I'm knotted up because I ain't caping for these hoes under no circumstance.
Your constituency thanks you.
I'm from Oak Cliff. Thank you for your time.
Oh man. All right.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
CM Punk is out here again with some nonsense.
Going live. Going live. And I do not mean Facebook or Instagram.
Tell me about your boy, because he's been off my radar for about a month now.
So CM Punk broke another one of his silences on social media.
Radio silence broken. Imagine that from Punk.
Yeah, in very much in Phil Brooks fashion, he posted something to his stories on Instagram. So it's one of those things. It's regardless of how, you know how some people will tweet something and then immediately delete it.
I was just about to ask you, was it a post and delete? And apparently it was.
Kind of, sort of, but it would have only been up for 24 hours regardless. But in this story where he just kind of types out some text, he addresses some things. He calls Jericho a stooge and a liar. Meltzer's a liar. And then he went into detail about his and Mox's situation, basically saying that Mox refused to do a job to him at the pay-per-view unless Punk would do a job for him beforehand. And the beforehand was like an homage or somewhat of a recreation of Rocky 3. For those of you who have seen Rocky 3, that's the movie with Clubber Lang. Rocky takes a L, comes back, wins. So here's my question. Without getting too much into extra explaining and all that, when has CM Punk lied? Like, we're still trying to figure out where the lie is, because even with the Rocky thing, that's exactly what happened.
Part of the problem with Punk is the fact that he just talks too goddamn much.
But it's true.
Right. But we've never debated what he was saying was factual or not, because...
Oh, and then the other part, not to cut you off, but the other part that's like really important is saying when he came back to do that job on Dynamite that we thought was completely ludicrous, he was not medically cleared to return. So that's why it became. That's why it was supposedly that's why it was a squash, because he wasn't medically cleared. He needed to be able to do something, quick and easy, in and out. Pause.
But was it really easy though? Like it was quick, and I don't think it was easy. He
had one move,
but you still have to receive moves. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're not medically cleared, you shouldn't be taking like shots. You know what I'm saying?
I 100% agree. But if your boss and your boss's, well, I can't even say that. Your boss's eventual champion decide to say, hey, this is what we want to do. And we're like, hey, we need to get this in the ring. I mean, that's him being a team player. So that's a situation where like everyone who after the fact says he's not a team player, that is an example of to the contrary. I'm in the ring and I shouldn't be.
I shouldn't be. For medical and legal reasons, should not be in this ring. But yet here
absolutely.
I am doing this for you and your people.
I could completely pull the rug out from under myself on any future legal proceedings if I'm getting into the ring knowing I'm not medically cleared. And I'm certain, well, if anybody was thinking, they'd had him sign a waiver, which I figured, knowing Phil, he would have said, fuck you.
Yeah, that is not happening at all, ever. Nope.
I'm not signing anything.
For an additional bag, I'm not signing anything but another paycheck.
I'll go through and play your little game, but I'm not signing anything. Just take it easy. But here, my question remains. Every time we have a conversation about anything involving CM Punk, the question that comes up is, where's the lie? Because what is my famous phrase that I tell everybody about their feelings when they listen to stuff?
Don't stop me when I start talking. Stop me when I stop telling the truth.
Don't stop me when your feelings get hurt.
Oh, when your feelings get hurt.
Don't stop me when your feelings get hurt. Stop me when I start lying.
And what do I tell everybody about the difference between the truth and a lie?
A lawsuit. The fundamental difference between the truth and a lie is a lawsuit.
And the only one we've seen recently is Michael Irvin. And that's something.
And I hope Michael Irvin changed the name of Marriott to Irvin Suites.
Irvinite. Irvin.
The Irvin Oasis. I don't care what he names it, but I'm going in.
The Irvin Hang Suite.
He could turn all the Marriotts except one for a specific reason. He could turn all of the rest of them into chicken spots. He could be frying chicken on every floor. I don't care. But give that man what you owe him plus some. But CM Punk is telling people now, motherfuckers saying they made Hove.
Made Hove say,
okay, so
make another Hove. Yo, speaking of making another Hove, before we get into this, we haven't done music on there in a while for obvious reasons, especially now since we're doing video.
Like,
let me hit you with something real quick. I don't know if you heard this or not.
What is it?
You tell me what it is.
Yeah. Tell the young they can become what they aspire to. Born in a cell with no one who can inspire you. Your highs was never as high as those that lie to you. Pretending that they live in the sky, lying behind your roof. Shooting holes up at your ceiling, trying to find the proof, trying to fight the feeling, the truth. Tied up like the noose they've been concealing. Dipped in diamonds so that you find it appealing. Time for dealing. Despite y'all dealing, we are the savages.
All right, who was that?
I felt like I heard Sean Carter, but I wasn't too sure about the other voice.
That was Sean Carter's voice. That was not Sean Carter. That's AI.
Man, log out. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this with anybody. If y'all want to get out here and get deep faked and fuck around with massive scandals, that's your business.
Yo, it's almost time. It's almost time to just end this thing. Suave, take it.
Yeah, pencil pushers. Beat it.
Oh man,
beat it. Yeah. I'm not getting involved with that. Like, no. Now, yeah, I do understand how me and you could do something really cool with that, but the way I've been seeing people like go overboard with this,
that's overboard. Like it. That is an example of overboard right there.
That's overboard.
Yeah, I'm good.
Somebody gonna end up doing time because of AI. Watch.
Yeah, we're not talking about Alan neither.
Yeah, not because of Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson's a national treasure and should be protected at all costs.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Off of that nonsense.
But you know, your boy Mox ended up getting involved after that.
On this whole, on the same situation?
Factual, because Mox was referenced. Because CM Punk basically told what.
Don't at me. Don't at me, bro.
Right. No, completely at me, bro. So
well, no, that's Mox. That's Mox. Don't at me because I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna talk to you. Yeah.
That type shit. So Punk basically exposes the creative, which I mean, again, tell me what a lie is. And he put Tony Khan in it too. Said Tony was insisting that this was the way things played out. So he was a part of this. He was in the know. Moxley basically, he has a I'm sick of this shit vibe. Like he doesn't like Punk. He's kind of like he doesn't want to be in the middle of the drama. And then one thing that was super telling, where he was saying, "I've never been a part of such a shit show locker room," which I'm paraphrasing. But there's just a lot of shit that goes on in the AEW locker room, apparently. Now, obviously, we've never been back there, but
I'll paraphrase a quote that I saw from him. He said something to the effect of, in all of his years in pro wrestling, across all of the independents and his time in WWE, that he has never seen more drama or what would you say, more bullshit.
See, that's it.
In AEW.
That's it. And that's a wide casting net because there are a lot of people who fit underneath that description. A lot. Oh, and then the other very cool thing. Well, not cool. Well, it's cool because it's information we didn't know. So remember when Mox kind of came out and said he was supposed to take a vacation instead of becoming the champ again? Like
that was June of last year. That was right after Double or Nothing.
No, actually, it's right after All Out. His vacation was supposed to happen right after he lost the Punk at All Out.
Okay, all right.
And because
of Brawl Out, that's what happened. Yeah,
right. And because of what happened at Brawl Out and the eventual suspensions and investigations and findings, everybody was out of the picture for a minute. And Mox
with accusations, and most definitely not false accusations.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So with Mox supposedly taking that vacation, he had to stop it because obviously, you got to come back and handle business. But he also let some things be known in this recent interview. I believe he did this on the Sessions. And that's his wife's show, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So apparently he worked last summer with no contract. His contract had expired. So I guess they extended it for some stuff he missed, for time he missed, but he essentially worked the summer as AEW World Heavyweight Champion without an agreement.
Let me tell you something.
Wait, to the point, now I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go off. To the point that he could have walked into SummerSlam as the AEW World Heavyweight Champion with no contract, and no one could have done anything about it.
The irony of you saying SummerSlam, because the last time we saw this happen, just happened to be at SummerSlam. If I'm not mistaken, it was 2011.
2011 SummerSlam.
Was it SummerSlam or was it No Way Out?
What event are you referencing?
When CM Punk won the championship from John Cena and then took it and put it in a refrigerator because his contract expired at midnight.
Was that Money in the Bank?
Was it Money in the Bank?
I think so. I think
it was 2011 in Chicago. That's all I can tell you. At any rate.
Yeah, Punk do your Googles right quick just to check my facts, check my numbers.
Yeah, but Punk was involved.
Right.
And still, how as a I don't want to use this term in a negative light. How as a mark for the industry and an executive in the industry, you literally came into the game number 3, some would argue number 2 in the industry when you started, and the company hasn't even been up for 5 years. How do you see everything that's happened before you, from Shane Douglas to CM Punk to Medusa? How do you see all these things happen and you allow one of your top paid talent to meander and gallivant throughout your company as the champion without being signed to a deal?
Because he trusts people to a fault. He's everything that we hear about him as a person is that he is a nice guy. We've seen firsthand TK, aka Kanos, is a fan to his heart.
Yep.
So
it's good, bad, and ugly, all three. And yes, it was Money in 2011. Go ahead.
So with him, he will sacrifice whatever to make what he thinks the product should be, or make the product good in his images. Even operating on bad business. That is terrible business to have your world heavyweight champion.
That's your world heavyweight champion.
Walking around here with absolutely no contract. Like, how many other wrestlers are on that roster could you have crowned in that moment if the eventual ending was just to end up giving Max a title run?
Uncle Trips is a Uber fan. Great executive, Uber fan.
He likes riding cars.
How much would he pay to have Mox on a one night show up on WWE TV and or the CAC with an AEW belt while under contract to AEW?
With the kind of money that they have to freely throw around.
Oh, don't worry. I'm about to add to that question. So go ahead.
You could take whatever Mox just signed for over however many years. He'd have made that in one night.
Now,
I put 5 M's on it off top. 5 M's would have got it done.
Now, considering the timing of this, how much do you think that there would have been an infusion from Vincent Kennedy? Because he was out of the picture when this happened.
Yeah, out of the picture.
Well, wait, actually, no.
Like out of the picture, like this?
Double or nothing.
Like this out of the picture? Like, I'm out of the picture right now. Look, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, sure. Dog, to take one of your phrases, dog said that. What you mean? What? Out of the picture?
So, Double or Nothing through July, he was still there in some capacity. So the bank account was still available. Like the pocketbook could be opened on a moment's notice. How much do you think he would open it up for that?
You do realize that Vince ain't scared to go in his personal stash to pay for some shit he want, right?
What makes you think that I don't know that? Like,
I'm just saying, like,
I can give you 20 million reasons.
22. I give you 22 million reasons that he can go in his pocket and pay for some shit just in case. But I mean, I could see him selling 6 figures. I can see that. I can see the Cash App going through. I think they put a daily limit on how much you can send via Cash App. I don't know how much you can send via Zelle. Or you just do a wire transfer. When you have that kind of money, it's a wire transfer. We're not even using.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you calling your personal banker and saying I need to make a wire transfer.
Yeah. Zelle is for lunch money.
Yeah, and this this would be like a club walkthrough. This requires no action. Just show up. That's it.
Like I feel like a wire transfer would have gone through for him. He would have wire transferred 7 figures just as a show of good faith. So you could have got $1 million just for you to think about it. Like if the conversation got close enough to happening to where you were like, I'm on the fence, maybe not, $1 million wire transfer.
He would have walked.
I got 5 more for you when you get here.
He would have walked in with money already sitting there from a digital transfer. He's walking out with a Halliburton with hard cold green.
And armed security.
Not to be confused with Armed Anderson, but which he could have afforded him too.
Look, he could have got Armed Anderson to jump ship with the rest of the money. Like, speaking of which, I ain't seen Arn on TV in some long time. I don't like that. I think Arn could be coaching somebody. He just have to coach Cody.
Arn is probably still grieving the loss of his son. We can our hearts and prayers and condolences go out to his family. But
absolutely.
Man,
Absolutely.
Yeah, but he's definitely missed on AEW television. That for true.
Factuals. People who know how to do pro wrestling the right way are always missed on AEW television.
And go ahead.
Just back to the conversation. I think he could have got, if he didn't leave with a total of $5 million, he wasn't asking right. Because I feel like 5 M's to essentially stomp out the cigarette, to stomp out the half-smoked cigarette that is your competition in that particular situation, like that's priceless.
Yep.
CM Punk can ask for $5 million right now.
You don't have to say a word. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to take a bump. Just show up.
Show up with the belt. Show up with the belt and possibly put it in the trash.
It never. I wouldn't. You hurt too many people when you do that. You hurt way too many people when you do that.
It's people that get paid to hurt people all the time. What are you trying to convince me of? Because I know for a fact people get hurt for money every day.
This is true.
By choice or by force. So look, somebody offer you 5 M's to do exactly what I just said. Show up with and $1 million advance. You got a signing bonus.
6 M's.
You made NFL running back money in 24 hours. You got the $1 million signing bonus from old Vinnie Mac, and then you had 5 more waiting for you when you got there.
I'm calling my financial advisor
in a Halliburton briefcase, handcuffed to your wife's arm. For as soon as you come back through the curtain, you are going with armed security to a vehicle that goes to a private jet that takes you back home.
I'm contacting my financial advisor. We're having a really in-depth conversation about what the next 6 months to a year looks like on the stock market.
I would I would add the caveat. I need to speak to my financial advisor about taking this money and putting it in an offshore account, because I'm certain there's a lawsuit coming, one that I will win, but I don't need anybody trying to seize those assets. That $1 million signing bonus, we cool, but the rest of it, nah.
Yeah, that cash, you ain't touching that cash, man.
Nah. That's a great point. Like, look, I only got $1 million for this. If you're gonna tax me off that, but I ain't under contract, so what's the point?
Open up the briefcase and for the first time, let it actually be something that's real.
That part,
man. Your boy Jericho, verbal diarrhea once again. That's your man's though.
Who?
Jericho.
Who man's?
Jericho. That's your man's. That's your people now. That's your sahab. I heard you took a picture with him.
Yeah, the same one you took.
This ain't about me right now.
Yeah, it's about us. Hell you mean? You gonna try to pawn him off on me? Like, look, I'm only claiming the Jericho from 98 when he's reading the list of moves. The
list. The arm bar.
Yeah. Anything after that is subject to review. Anything after 1998 and him trolling Goldberg is subject to review. Period. That's it.
Finally, put his hand through a damn limo glass. No one told you to do that, dumbass.
Nah. Jericho was long gone before he did that.
Oh, that's you. See, look at you, Encyclopedia Brown. Look at you.
I mean, I do what I can to give back.
Yo, so apparently Jericho is going on record talking about he invented birthday sex. Wait, what? He invented the sweet potato pie. What?
The song birthday?
He invented dominoes counting by 5. What? All these things, is this on this list of Jericho?
I believe he invented the turn indicator.
What
on a vehicle?
What?
He invented he invented ice for hockey, because before that they were just skating on dirt.
He invented electric vehicles, fam.
You know he invented the television, right?
He invented pro wrestling.
But only after he invented the refrigerator. And you know why he's the best thing since sliced bread? Because he invented
milk. He invented milk.
Wow. Was not aware of that. You know, chicken and waffles? Chris Jericho.
The egg, Chris Jericho.
The incredible edible egg. Orange juice. Chris Jericho.
Not even the orange tree, just the juice.
Canadian bacon. Chris Jericho.
Clearly Canadian. Chris Jericho.
Montreal Expos. All because of Chris Jericho.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wally Carvo, wrestling promoter, my great personal friend, was birthed by Chris Jericho.
Stampede Wrestling only happened because Chris Jericho.
The Hitman and Bret Hart, Jericho.
Chris Jericho. Absolutely.
The Hart family name was invented by Chris Jericho.
You know who laid down the first mats in the dungeon? Chris Jericho. You're too slow. You're too slow. You gotta be
the first person that said that Stu Hart stretched out somebody.
Chris Jericho.
Listen, man. This dude said in so many words. I don't know if you have the quote or not, but in so many words,
the quote is so ridiculous. I don't even feel like pulling it up.
He said that people are singing music, like singing entrance music, because so many people sung Judas and Break the Walls Down over the years. And he's the reason why people are singing people's songs now. I wonder if that was Seth Rollins trolling on Monday Night Raw when he told the crowd to sing his song for him.
Oh, I'm certain Seth Franklin has been trolling quite a bit. Like, just the way he's been dyeing his hair. He's trolling multiple people at the same time. The way he's been dyeing his hair and then getting everybody to sing on cue. And he looks like he's having a good time right now.
I mean, there's no better job to have than a job you're having fun with doing. So
actual factuals. Perfect example right here. Perfect example. But like
he came out in the Mario boots and stopped the Miz the week that the meme went popular. Who better?
He's paying attention to the room.
And just think, just a couple of years ago, anytime we mentioned Seth Rollins' name, we were hearing this. That he had his own theme music for our show. But these days are long gone.
Long live Kung Fu Panda.
Meanwhile, back at the farm, here we are with Chris Jericho talking about how let's go back for a minute. The first organization that I saw have music with people walking to the ring that I saw was Mid-South Wrestling. Junkyard Dog came out to another one by Scissor. And actually at one point he came out to Atomic Dog by George Clinton.
There's that.
So we had the Fabulous Freebirds who came out to Leonard Skinner Freebird.
And to be perfectly honest, the Freebirds are who are being credited as the first wrestling act to come out to rock and roll music.
Which would have been Leonard Skinner Freebird.
So I would figure a lot of people in the crowd might know that song, just maybe. Okay, I'll tell you what.
If they don't know that, I bet you they know the Bad Street USA, the baddest street in the whole USA.
Oh, they absolutely know Bad Street USA. What about the Road Warriors with Iron Man?
Oh, come on, man. That honestly, that might be the most iconic ring music ever.
Is it? Well, what about Enter the Sandman in ECW?
Okay, that might be the most cult classic theme music ever.
Oh, okay. We won't even have to go decades back for this one. This one's in close enough proximity that Jericho might have still been in the building when it happened. Bobby Roode, Glorious.
If he was not in the building where we could see him, he was running a house show tour, which he did for years with WWE. So he was around it. People knew Glorious in an arena that held a couple of hundred people.
Facts. And
went to an arena that held 10, maybe 15, 20,000.
They're doing numbers.
Yeah. So
back when it was really still outside. Yeah.
End up in this.
And simultaneously.
Yeah. Simultaneously.
DX's theme, people saying that.
In case you haven't figured this out yet, we're doing a mixtape of songs or songs that are more memorable than Judas.
No, it doesn't even have to be more memorable. Just songs
before Judas.
Songs you were singing before you learned the words to Judas.
And to be told, break the walls down. That's all we knew was break the walls down. That's it. Just those words. That's it.
But that would have been part of his claim to fame. Like, yeah. Oh, speaking of which, where he came from when he came over with Break the Walls Down, WCW. Was nobody singing the theme to the Wolfpack? Shout out to C Murder.
C Murder. So that one, and then there was another one people were singing that was popular back. I mean, even like the whole WWE joint stuff, like the pimpin' ain't easy, man. What was the other one? I will say certain songs off Aggression were not getting necessarily sung in unison, and I think that may be more his claim to fame is like people weren't in unison, like mass choir singing. Okay, you still have people that predate like ECW with the Sandman, like we mentioned. Natural Born Killers, that the real hip hop heads knew that song from back.
Bro. I knew that song word for word before I had ever seen New Jack take a dive.
And not to mention, if you saw New Jack and you heard that song, you didn't stop hearing that song until you stopped seeing New Jack. Like if you go back and try to find ECW footage that has been released, you will not see a New Jack match with commentary because the whole match has Natural Born Killers behind it.
You'll get splashes of commentary like when he does like super crazy stuff.
Maybe, oh my God, that's pretty much it from Joey Styles.
And you're not going to be able to see it on the cock. Pause. They've overdubbed the music. I don't like that.
Man,
I watched the old Nitro and they overdub Harlem Heat's music. I'm like, shouldn't you own it?
Nope. That's I've seen that on commercials, like regular commercials. How about even the Usos original music? I've seen that on True TV. I've seen that on like what's the joint? The Impractical Jokers. I've seen it. I've heard it on there numerous times.
Us Gang or Don't Bang.
Especially World's Dumbest. What's your boy Good Try Terry? You can't tell me Real American.
Yeah.
What about Eye of the Tiger?
I get what he meant. I do.
Do elaborate.
Oh damn! I just thought of another one. The song doesn't have words, but it's like the precursor to what Seth Rollins is doing now. Hell, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Too easy.
Who didn't sing Randy Orton's "I Hear Voices"?
I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. They understand.
Bray Wyatt got a whole arena to sing. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Yep.
That should have been his entrance music at some point. But yeah, I think people were singing along with the
to some degree. Yep.
But yeah, just what he was doing is, well, one, patting himself on the back as usual, but also because we're dealing with
even Batista.
Facts.
This shit went hard.
Facts. That's like Xavier,
Triple H?
One of his favorite entrance themes. Like,
oh man,
there's a lot of them. There's been a lot of iconic music. Maybe everything didn't get sung word for word, mass choir style, because it hasn't been choreographed as such. But you do have instances where you have a whole arena singing the words even after the music's been turned off.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not the first, but I get it because we're in this weird time in wrestling culture, wrestling history, where you have a lot of people who are they're new old heads, I guess is what you might refer to it as. Like they've been watching wrestling long enough to know better, but they would rather feed into this current iteration of what wrestling is.
What up, new school?
Right. You know what I'm saying? And for that, it's like they'll just go along with shit that they know isn't true because they don't want to be the guy in the room to have the differing opinion. Like, it's okay not to be an expert at everything.
But it's also okay to not agree with things that are just egregious.
Yeah, if it's wrong, it's wrong. And that, you see what I said with CM Punk? I can't disagree with him because he hasn't lied. When he starts lying, oh, that's some bullshit right there. I don't fuck with that. That's how I handle this.
We got evidence on your ass.
We just made a whole mixtape, and I'm sure we left off some like egregious situations.
Classics. And if you
I'm certain we did.
If you got some, show at brokenpistolbc.com, brokenpistolbc@gmail.com, at brokenpistolbc on everything.
You know what? I'll be able to give him credit for this. He may be the no, never mind. Look, I was gonna say,
what were you gonna say?
He's the first person to have created his own theme song that people went on to sing.
You spelling my names wrong.
Right. That's what made me stop. Speaking of which, little known fact, shout out to Michael Hayes, at least for this. That whole era of WCW Slam Jam, the one that we reference on this show like all the time with Cactus Jack, Mr. Bang Bang, and Ravishing Rick Rude, Simply Ravishing, and Dustin Rose, The Natural. Like, he's part of the executive production team that helped put that together.
You know who else was on that team?
Who that?
Jimmy Hart.
Well, look, Jimmy Hart by himself has more songs that people have sung. Bruh. Now you just reminded me. What was damn
Honky Tonk Man shit back in the gap.
Him and Greg Valentine. We need a honky love. And I'm not saying anything to get us canceled. Those are the actual words to the song.
Yep.
Now, I won't say a whole arena was singing it. However,
people knew it.
People knew it. But yeah, there's a whole bucket full of people who can lay claim to that particular designation.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. Yeah. You know, we'll get you next time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you keep swinging. Keep swinging. We'll keep throwing. We'll watch the pitches. We ain't gonna throw nothing at you, but we'll watch the pitches.
I'm not pitching or catching when you're involved, pal. I'm out.
If we connect, we can call it. You know, but it's about all I'm here for is, you know, to catch you when you fall, and I'm not gonna pick you up. I might just lay you down. Just
who volunteered to catch anybody when they fall? What happened?
You know what? Never mind. Forget all that.
That's what the crash pad is for.
Cena, what's up with Cena? Is he bringing back the open challenge?
Well, I saw a story circulate online where there was essentially an idea pitched for Austin Theory to lose to Cena on night one, because apparently this is the opening match for WrestleMania. I've seen it reported. I don't know how true it is because again,
from what I was thinking, I thought it was the main event of night one.
I think they used Cena's face as the marquee participant, but everything I've seen says that's going to be the opening match.
Okay,
but there was this idea. I'm assuming this is like a fan generated idea that Cena would win on night one, win the title, and then have an open challenge on night two. That open challenge would be that would end up being the debut of Jay White, and Jay White would win, beat Cena on night one.
Transitional champion.
There's so many reasons I hate this.
That's the first one.
Like, first of all, what did Austin Theory do to anybody? Does he have like some situations going on? Yeah.
All he ever did was show up for work, man. That's it.
Okay, so unless I hear something come out that just makes me say, you know what, I ain't fooling with Austin Theory anymore, I don't understand why we're in such a rush to ruin him. I don't get it.
You know what?
I don't get it.
Hold on, man. Hold on. So I do see the cards. I'm gonna let you be the judge. Now, naturally, cards subject to change.
As always.
All right. Strowman and Ricochet versus Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus Viking Raiders. Ray versus Dom. Seth versus Logan Paul. Becky Lynch and Lita with Trish Stratus versus Damage Control. The Usos versus was it KO Zania, Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, and then John Cena and Austin Theory. That's your night one card. of those matches, which one could headline?
Usos versus Chaosmania, because
easy. That one could.
That's my choice. That's the one I want. Just because the story's so good.
You want to send the crowd home happy? That's the one. That's the one right there.
You want to send them home with a massive celebration and then make the viewing audience want to come back and watch the next night. That's what you do.
You can sell more tickets by making that happen on night one.
Charlotte Flair in the main event is just, that's life.
It's passe, but it's also viable because been there, done that, and got wins for it. So yeah,
actual factuals. I don't think that the level of drama is high enough for Ray and Dom to main event night one. No, I don't think so. And then Cena Theory, like just because on name value alone.
All right, so night two, Liv Morgan, Raquel Gonzalez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda and Baszler versus Sonya Deville, Chelsea Green. This actually says Brick Lesnar. Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Edge versus Finn Balor. Hell in a Cell. Well, actually, Edge versus the Demon. Gunther versus.
Price just went up.
I don't know.
Walter.
I keep telling you, he is Walter at my house. I don't. There's so many reasons I'm not calling him that.
Yeah, versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre for the IC title. Bianca
Moss.
And then also Roman Reigns. Oh, I'm sorry. Your tribal chief, head of the table. This is your daily acknowledgement. Also,
a whole lot of fucking gang shit.
WWE Universal Champion. WWE Grand Champion.
Thank you. Jeez, bro. You got one job.
This is our last time saying it too. WWE Grand Champion.
I'm not willing to give up hope just yet.
versus Cody Rhodes.
1,000 days. 1,000 days.
Come on, man.
If I could start a 1,000 days chant at WrestleMania, I'd go down in history.
Just do a thousand days post using the logo that what's my man? Former Horseman, Dean Malenko used.
I still say Stanford dropped the ball about making the FU Roman shirts.
I mean, you created the shirts. That's why they dropped the ball, because they knew they know.
Look, sell me mine.
Let me hit you with a ghost face.
Just sell me mine. I ain't doing no tripping. Look, everything's for sale except the soul.
You dig? So yeah, if all intents and purposes, if it's up to me, I'm sure you agree with this part. I'm putting Usos and Chaosmania in the main event.
Facts.
But it looks like it's probably going to be Austin and Cena. Or Austin Theory and John Cena.
I'm telling you, everything I've heard says Austin and Cena. I mean, Theory and Cena is going to be I don't want to call it the curtain jerker. It's the opening match.
Okay. Well, I would dare to be surprised if it is, and that would be a pleasant surprise.
Then Cena might also have, some obligations to tend to where he needs to leave immediately. But here's another very cool thing about Cena that I just heard. So apparently 2K Games is going to include him in this year's PGA golf release. He'd be a playable character in 2K23 PGA.
Nice. I could take that.
What is going on with the triggers over there with you?
It's a page off. That's all it is. I could dig that, because I don't know if you've been playing EA Sports games lately over the last, say, 10 years or so.
Oh, okay. That's short of a span? Absolutely.
With the exception of Madden, or even Madden might maybe part of this too. I haven't played Madden since like 04, 05, to be honest with you.
Damn.
But
they had depth perception back then when you were playing on 04.
Nah, bro.
You've missed a bit. You've missed a lot, but then you've missed nothing. It's same.
So EA Sports has lost their luster for a number of reasons. Number one, they can't get their mind together for NBA Live and whatever the basketball, whatever they want to call it. They keep bringing it back and leaving it, bringing it back and leaving it. That's number one. But
come on with this NCAA. That's what I'm waiting on. Come on.
We haven't had an NCAA football or basketball?
Football. Come on, bro. My house.
We haven't had NCAA football since, I believe, 99.
I don't even know if I want to play NCAA basketball.
No, I think about it. We had it one. I think it was 1 year after '99, and they brought in the black colleges, and that was it.
Let's see. When was Darren McFadden
In Arkansas?
Arkansas.
That was the early 2000s, I believe.
So it's still being put out then. I think it might. Just do our Googles. Keep talking, hold, and I'll do this. I'll figure this out.
Yeah. So at any rate, whatever the last time was, okay, cool. But what they lost me at was I bought a Tiger Woods golf game. I love playing golf games. Since Nintendo, I've always loved playing golf games. I go buy Tiger Woods golf, and just for me to get the clubs that I need to succeed and beat ass online,
Pause.
I have to pay for them. So you mean that my character is equipped enough to play the game, but not equipped enough to win it without me buying extra?
2013 was the last one.
There was also
and this new one's been delayed to 2024.
Wow. There was also a UFC game or a bunch of UFC games and a couple of boxing games.
The UFC games were dope in the beginning, and then it was like, bro, these controls, like, can we simplify this some?
When the PS5, the second year PS5 was on shelves, it was wrapping up the end of the first year. They gave away UFC 4 with your PlayStation Plus purchase, with your subscription. Gave it away. I downloaded it, saw all the people they didn't have, saw what I had to pay to get them, and deleted the game. Never to be heard from again.
Bro, them DLC packs was the death of a whole lot of video games. Shout out to Mortal Kombat, who was able to, ride that wave and still remain relevant.
Mortal Kombat and Grand Theft Auto have stood the true test of time when it comes to DLCs.
Because you actually like playing the game. So adding extra characters is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're willing to spend that. I'll be honest with you. Was this Mortal Kombat 11 we're on? I spent that for the extra characters so I could get Rambo and RoboCop and the Joker, and
I was super late.
Everybody.
But I paid $15 for the Ultimate Edition. They got everybody and two console downloads. So there's that.
These are truths.
But at any rate, good for Cena. That's an extra bag picked up. His likeness will carry on beyond the WWE universe and into the 2K universe. That's good to make him a spokesperson because
that's cool.
Yeah, I'll take it. The Winged Eagle Belt. We talking about Roman and the Grand Championship. The Winged Eagle Belt was retired 25 years ago. This week.
This week. This week.
So naturally, we've got two belts now. Do we go back to one belt post Mania, or do we keep the two? I prefer to have the two, but do we go through a redesign? Because the last redesign we had was when Daniel Bryan went with the Hip Hooray belt.
Hip hooray! Oh, so okay, multi-layer question. So, do I expect there to remain two titles? Possibly, because once you take the title off Roman, you have absolutely no reason to not have a champion for each brand. You just don't. That's one. Two, I'm under the impression just because it's Cody and Cody thinks ahead on stuff like this, there's probably going to be a new version of the titles at some point. So if he decided to bring back the Winged Eagle, which was kind of like, I think he might have even spoke to it at some point, but like a long, long time ago. And then everyone's going to bring up the fact that he restored the original, original version of the IC title. I could see him going back and carrying the version of the belt that Dusty didn't win.
The big green belt?
Yeah.
Man, listen. That belt was ignorant too.
But you see what I'm saying?
Belt.
Like,
yeah.
You see Cody wearing that, and all of a sudden it'll
hit different.
It will hit different, and then you tell the story. This is the belt that they stole from my father, so this is the one I'm gonna carry.
And Cody instantly puts legitimacy to that title because it went off of Sheik onto Hogan.
Oh, and then as soon as it goes up on WWEshop.com at $500 a whop, they're gonna sell out. Because that's a collector's item at this point. You haven't
Yo.
seen that belt in like 30, 40 years.
Speaking of cool shit that Cody did,
Uh-huh.
seen the weight belt he's wearing to WrestleMania.
I have. So that it only thing it made me think, if the belt is all white and the letters on the outside are gold, what does the ring gear look like? But I did think it was pretty cool that on the inside it's inscribed with every independent promotion he worked for while away.
Lou Gotti, what up? Including VIP. That was on the top row.
I mean, shit happens.
Yeah, Cody's a historian, and people were sleeping on the fact that he actually is that he's built from that pedigree.
Facts. Now let me throw a little more gasoline on this new title fire. There was a report that went out this week. I'll verify who it was from, but that Triple H may have already approved a new world title design.
I've seen that on a few different little outlets.
And then I saw the it was a Cody version of the winged eagle. Like I guess
I saw that too.
A belt designer actually made it. So at first they thought it was just a mock-up, or it was just like a one-off that they took pictures of and was like, hey, this is an example. Well, then there's another photo of Cody actually holding the belt. And so, and
as a graphics guy that you are, Photoshop or no?
I'd have to look at the photo again a little closer. It seems like something that was made for him as a gift, given to him. He posed with it, and then that's it. But of course, this is the internet where shit just, it grows legs. Everything we just talked about says that belt could pop up on New Year's Day, which for those of you who are new to the show, first of all, welcome. New Year's Day is the day after WrestleMania. Raw after WrestleMania is New Year's Day for professional wrestling. Yep. Regardless of what they tell you in January with the day one pay-per-view.
No matter how mid the show ends up, that is a must-watch show for every wrestling fan across the globe. Because
you will have the best crowd humanly possible.
You also could have the worst crowd humanly possible.
It depends on the show they give you and whether or not you go into it with a sense of humor. If you have a sense of humor about this, you're gonna have a good time.
One thing that you won't see at this year's WrestleMania,
what it is,
brings a tear to my eye.
Oh hell, you go crying and shit.
A red cell. No more red cell. The Hell in a Cell is going back to the galvanized fence.
Do you realize that I refuse to bow my head in a moment of silence for that bullshit ass cage?
The things that we have seen because of that red cage, or during the era of that red cage, we saw not one, but two no contests in Hell in a Cell.
There's a heavy stink on that red cage.
We saw a Hell in a Cell match on Monday Night Raw because of that red fail.
WrestleVotes was the source on that Triple H design approval.
I saw him, and so unless that was picked up from or shared, which a lot of things are.
There's no real wrestling media. Every time a podcast release, somebody listens to it, takes a few clips from it, creates a whole story for clicks, posts it, and that's supposed to be, news.
Take some shit we say out of context, you make it click. I guarantee a lawsuit's coming behind it if it's used wrong. But still,
because
the professional difference, the inherent difference between, or the fundamental difference between the truth and a lie
is
a lawsuit.
Factuals.
And we've got 5 years worth of receipts on your funky ass.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. As we continue on, yo, I couldn't wait to talk about this.
What's that?
2 years. 2 years, I have been telling people what I expect out of a faction. Different factions. But this one in particular hits a little different.
Talk your stuff.
Beginning of last year, we saw the formation of the Blackpool Combat Club. It was dissolved before the year was up, or so we thought.
Put on a hiatus because they were still repping and wearing shirts. They just weren't all together at the same time.
People were on different pages, and by people, I mean Bryan Danielson was separated from the other three because the other three never stopped representing the clique. Bryan Danielson never stopped representing the colors, even though he was rarely seen with the clique, if ever seen with the clique. This Wednesday on Dynamite, we got exactly what I wanted.
Which
Bryan
is
Danielson comes in, clears the ring of the Blackpool Combat Club to protect Kenny, only to give Kenny the psycho knee he never saw coming.
Oh well. I'm heartbroken.
What did Kenny get for his troubles besides a psycho knee? He got a stern talking to. Bryan Danielson talked his shit.
It bees that way sometimes.
Mama said.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the ICW conglomerate that contributes to this show. Very, very Easter eggish situation that's been brought to our attention about the promo package that was played on Dynamite when Bryan Danielson decided to go home. He was like, basically, he was beaten. It's time for me to go home. Well, because of all the conversations that had taken place before, the viewing audience, us included, thought home was home to my wife and children.
Oh, I never assumed that one.
Never?
Me? I never assumed that one. No.
All right. Well, come to find out, home meant to the Blackpool Combat Club. And they are finally, because I've had to remind Wood on so many different occasions, there's the difference between what they are and what we
want them to be.
They are now what we want them to be.
They are who we thought they were or thought they should be. The
Great Yuta is going to get his name back. If he keeps this up,
he has to start winning in gut stop fashion, though.
No. I just need him to start using Mist.
Can we get Muta back?
No.
After the Hall of Fame to give him the paint?
No, we can't. You know why? Because you know what comes with the Hall of Fame?
Legends contract.
Legends deal. You can hang them shits up, fam. Them days is over.
So you know what that means, right? With their Legends deal and him going into the Hall of Fame.
What that mean?
He's about to be downloadable content on WWE 2K24 or 2K23.
Do I look upset?
Not at all. That might be a reason for me to get it.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, what's the cheat code for the Mist?
Exactly. The special move for the Mist. And then if you put him and Asuka together, and then Shinsuke, and how many more do we have on the roster? Give me those three.
There's one more, but he's so far gone.
Who that?
he was fighting for the 24/7 title. Your man.
Oh, Tozawa.
There we go.
We can rehabilitate him. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, we can.
Okay. Just put him with his click.
That's it. That's all we need. All right.
But,
yeah, because I have a picture, an autograph photo of the Great Muta on my wall here in the office. Shout out to Snowman. Snowman.
No, can't ban
Snowman Enterprises. You can't ban the Snowman. We certainly don't do it here.
After Mania, we have got to get Tony Snow back on here to talk about Snowman Enterprises.
Facts.
This dude, I hate the fact. I want to hate him so bad.
He's become a bit of a public menace, but he's still gang.
He gang. That's the problem. He gang. I can't hate him too much. I actually appreciate him.
Where the gang goes, the gang goes. I'm sure he has a reason to be a public menace. We'll let him come on here and state his case.
Quit menacing our folk, people.
And then there's
if you are a menace, it's because you got menaced. That's usually how it goes.
But yeah, ain't no more crossing back and forth for Muta. That's it. It's a wrap.
Speaking of WWE, I'm gonna jump down a little bit on this one.
Handle your business.
Nick Khan's out here talking to people.
Nicholas.
It's that time of year where he decides that, you know, it's time to talk about money and money plays.
His bag season.
We've talked about it on this show a few times. We didn't know how it was going to pan out. But when they took the indie wrestling off of the CAC, off of the network, and the network went to the CAC, we kind of thought that the pay-per-view model was going to change. In fact, we even talked about how AEW and their pay-per-view model currently with Bleacher Report and Fight TV has it got us to a point to where if they put on a card that's worthy enough for us to watch it, we're going to get it. And we've gotten this close before with AEW, but we have yet to not get an AEW pay-per-view. That said, Nick Khan's talking about the possibilities of adding WWE pay-per-views into the COC as more higher premium content as a one-off. I'm looking at your faces, Suave, and
kiss my entire ass. If you think for 12 different shows a year for what we've been getting as PLEs, that I'm going to pay anything that resembles anything higher than the premium membership to the COC that we got for migrating away from the WWE network, you are sadly mistaken. I will turn into Captain Jack Sparrow. And you know who Captain Jack Sparrow was? A pirate.
They've been around. Just what was that? Joe's Apartment that was on MTV, like roaches. We've been here for 100 million years and we'll be here long after you. So saith the pirate.
Like I understand the money making model. I understand you feel like that people are dedicated enough to your product to where they're gonna, and I'm sure they're using AEW's business model is like, okay, people are willing to pay this for a pay-per-view. Well, here's the one thing. AEW only has pay-per-view once a quarter.
Yeah.
So once a quarter. You have a pay-per-view every month. Even if you went back to the first in your house price scale, I still ain't doing it.
That's what was that? In your houses were $20.
Now they started at $14.95.
There you go. Okay.
Even at $15 a show, I don't think you're gonna give us the type of quality we need to fully enjoy giving that money up. It's principle at this point. It's not when it's $15, it's not the money, it's the principle. But I know you're not gonna do $15, you're gonna do 50.
Especially doing this for 10 years like this. We're coming up on like next year's the 10th year of having the network. You spoiled me, and now you give it and take it away. I don't walk.
You can't walk me backwards. What woman have you ever met that you could walk back from a wife to a girlfriend?
You have a higher probability of charging $2 more per sub than you do with charging $40-$50 on a one-off for a network that we already subscribe to.
Increase the pricing tier. Like, okay, if the monthly subscription for Peacock, for those who migrated from the WWE network, it's like $5.
Yep.
And then 10 if you want like no commercials, but there's no such thing as no commercials. That's a fucking
but
scam.
How much was the network though?
$9.99.
Come on, man. So
for forever and a day, it was $9.99. However, let's say, because okay, we've been sent focus group stuff about this before. Like, what would we be willing to pay for if there was a premium tier? And then podcast came up into the conversation.
Old school content,
special like live house show streaming. Like you would actually get more content instead of taking the content we already get and upcharging us for it.
And the highest price that we even saw for that was $15, right?
Right. The extra pricing tier was an extra $5. I'm like, yeah, I'll spend 15 because all I do is watch wrestling.
Because by the time that the network converted over to Peacock, there was even a free tier. You couldn't see shit on it, but it was still free.
Not to mention the fact that we lost content in the migration.
Oh man,
we lost a lot, and it's too much to start naming off. But there is a whole lot of content that did not make the jump from the original WWE network to what is now Peacock. So, yeah, paying $5 for access to the library, that's more than a bargain. Not even going to debate that. It's the individual events, considering the quality we've been getting. And you said, how long has the WWE Network been around?
9 years.
9 years. So in the last 9 years, how many shows can you name that aren't NXT takeovers?
Talk about it.
That from start to finish, you'd have paid $50 for?
Not a damn one of them, because first and foremost, most of these cards that we saw in that time frame, including WrestleMania 32, the card looked worse on paper than what we actually saw. So we wouldn't have even known how good it was until after the fact.
30 was on the network too, so I think that's the first one.
30 was on the network, but it was the very first event that was on the network was the Elimination Chamber right before 30. That was in 2014.
Gotcha.
But think about that. You see cards of 5 or 6 matches and be like, there's no way in hell this shit's gonna be any good. And we watch and we come on here and have a show and talk about it. You know what? That was a pretty damn entertaining pay-per-view. I can't tell you one of them, but I can tell you it's the majority of the ones from this last one on back about 5 years. Because
our thing that we always say on this show, it's not about, we don't criticize the talent as much as we criticize the creative. The creative does not make you want to spend money on the product whatsoever. What the talent ends up going in between the ropes and doing, that's a testament to their work ethic.
Above and beyond the Call of Duty every time. Every time we doubted the card far exceeded our expectations, and it did not stop us from thinking the exact same thing the next time we saw a card that looked similar to the one before it.
Like, no cap, this year's WrestleMania looks like a double CD that should have been a single album.
This is, you can cut out half these matches and you have an episode of Raw. If you're really active, you can have an episode of SmackDown and add another half hour to it.
Night one kind of shapes out like a really good episode of Raw from way back when. But okay, what is it? 12? Is 12 matches on the card total?
I counted 13. Something tells me we're going to get LA Knight and Stone Cold at the end of probably in the night one.
No, you'll get an interaction, but if they're going to have anything more than that, I feel like they would have advertised it, simply because, come on, bro.
6 matches night 2, 7 matches night 1. And there's also is the Battle Royal going to be on
have no clue.
I think the Battle Royal is going to be on SmackDown tonight. The Andre the Giant Invitational.
No, thank you.
Or Memorial.
No, thank you. Now the Andre the Giant Memorial can't even make the card. Like, come on, fam.
This ain't the first year.
I know it's not, but I'm just saying.
Well, this is where we are. But then again,
because we weren't on video the last time they did it.
Would you want all 13 of these matches in that Battle Royal on the card on one night?
Not on one night. We learned how bad that was with 35.
Indeed, we did.
We learned that. Like, you worked a whole shift watching WrestleMania. Which, I mean, I get it. It's WrestleMania. But, yeah, all of that stuff. The one thing I can lean on is, we know it's going to be a 4-hour show. There's only 6 matches on one night, 7 on the other. That means everybody should get time to get their shit off. Meaning, some of these matches with the people that can really go should be classics or have classic potential.
Absolutely.
So, but everything don't go how we think it's gonna go. So some matches that we think are gonna be like stellar instant classics end up being duds. The one we wasn't looking for to be lit, it'd be like the tag team showcase of a mess around and be like a sleeper. Matter of fact, peep this. We do. He ain't gonna win. Obviously, for those of you who are ingratiated and subscribe to the YouTube channel like you should be, we do. Who ain't gonna win. I feel like because people have taken a liking to our predictions format, we should do something a little extra this time.
Oh,
yes. So we're gonna, and I'm doing this completely off. You can't write this. I'm doing this off the head, but this is an idea.
That's a hashtag.
You tell me who's gonna be match of the night. That's the first one.
Okay.
Look at that card and tell me who's match of the night.
Night one.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love to say the Usos versus KO Zania,
that's the smart choice.
I got a sleeper, and you will not be happy with it.
I think it's probably the one I was gonna pick too, so it might not be that shocking.
Seth versus Logan Paul.
That's exactly what it was.
Broken pencil logic applied. Night two.
Absolutely.
Night two. Looking at the card, it's really, I mean, really hard to go against Roman and Cody. Really, really hard. Bianca, I think Bianca is in for a dog walking because this version of Asuka is dangerous. It's gonna be a decent match, like a decent time, but it's not going to be like Asuka's going to put on the clinic, and I hate to say that about Bianca because she's been a hell of a champion.
All right, so peep this.
I hold on. My choice though is going to be Edge versus Finn Balor, Hell in a Cell
For match of the night of night two.
Yep.
Okay. So, of what you picked for night one and night two, what's going to be the best match of the weekend?
Best match of the weekend?
Yeah.
See, that's
strictly WrestleMania. We're not dealing with nobody else.
See, now that changes because like it would have to be one of those two, right?
I mean, it doesn't have to be anything other than what you say.
Like I can't have a match of one night and it not be the match of the weekend. You see what I'm saying? I sound incredible when I pick a different match that's not one of the two matches that I named. For that reason, I'm going to go with Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins.
Gotcha.
There's one box that gets checked with that match that is scary for those involved, including what can or can't happen inside that ring, and that's the fact that Logan Paul has gone public and saying that his contract is up after WrestleMania.
That means absolutely nothing. That's like that's like when NFL players unfollow the team on Instagram. That's what that is.
That doesn't mean he can't be back, but the money that he's already made outside of WWE is not necessary. He doesn't need WWE. So if he wanted to go Teddy Hart and do whatever he wanted to do one last time at the largest stage ever, fuck it.
I have great faith in the fact that he would not leave vertical trying some shit like that.
Okay.
In that environment, with all of what goes on there, you try to go off script in that environment,
you getting handled.
We're gonna test that chop. We're gonna test that chin and that jaw. We're gonna see how many steel pins you really got in that hand. And then whatever fight you have out in front of these people, you finna have another one as soon as you come through the curtain.
And Seth got a problem with that too. Like Seth's got pedigree, former world champion. Like he
Cody say they almost came to blows.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get it twisted. Seth's a wrestler too. Like it's not like he's just WWE.
And let's keep it a thigh out. Since all of these conversations about McMahon's back in the building, like he ever left, and he's back in creative, and he's definitely going to be at WrestleMania. What's to stop McMahon from putting that Zelle money on somebody? Say, oh yeah, go handle that for me, because Lesnar ain't above it. Lesnar get some money real quick. Look, I got a milli for you. Just go ahead.
You would have to assume that Lesnar A is there on night one, B that he's there that late in the night one.
Look, all I'm saying is, look, somebody will make this money. That I have no qualms about, no questions. Bobby Lashley say he liked to fight, so cool. Extra milli on Bobby's plate to go ahead and sleep this man. You're not finna go out here acting no ass. All he did was say my contract's up. So basically, this performance is your audition for getting more money.
Finley likes to fight too, but you don't see him running down to the ring to save shit anymore.
Finley ain't never been paid as much as Logan Paul has been paid.
That's a fact.
That part. So, okay, it actually works against Logan Paul to go out there and do something stupid. Like you stepping on your own bag. Why would you do that? Whether you need it or not is irrelevant. We always need more money because we want to spend more. But like, why would you do that?
The faster you go up, the faster you go down. This is, I mean, I'm saying that that's the wild card of that situation. Leads me to believe that he's going to go more all out, not go scorched earth, but go more all out to solidify his name. In fact, here it is, Mania moment. He's going to give a Mania moment.
I could believe that because okay, here's what the reality is. What else is he gonna do?
What, in wrestling or period?
Period. Like, I mean, yes, you can do the YouTube thing until
his brother got KTFO'd already. He's due for one. The YouTube thing, as long as he has people that are clicking on him, he has nothing to worry about.
The YouTube will always pay the utilities and everything, the grocery, the utilities, the card note, and a little bit of spending cash and the gas money. He ain't gonna have to worry about that. Whatever he does investments wise with the money he's made, that's fine. But what else is available for him to do considering his resume of behavior? Is there going to be some sort of a major network that takes an opportunity on him? I mean, he's not Pat McAfee.
Nah, not in a live environment. I can't see it. That's the issue. On like you can't let someone who's that loose go live.
He's made for this that he's doing. That's what he's made for. So get another re-up and get another bag.
I mean, Bad Bunny doing it. Bad Bunny hosting was it WrestleMania Judgment Day or whatever it's called?
It's WrestleMania Backwash.
Backlash.
Backwash.
WrestleMania Backwash from Puerto Rico.
I tell you, let me look at night 1 and night 2. Let me give you my matches of the night right quick. Match of the night on night 1. I'm gonna keep it simple. I ain't gonna mess this up. I'm going Usos and KO Zania.
I'm with it.
Night 2, match of the night. You know what? Nah, look, Roman and Cody, they're consummate professionals. Cody has a flair for the dramatic. I don't see how this isn't like great. Cody may even bleed. Shout out to John Moxley.
Honestly, I think if he bleeds, it's gonna be the hard way. I don't. This is not gonna. It's just gonna be. I give it 33 minutes of just pure hell for both people.
Fam. You don't think Cody got a blade tucked right there?
Oh, I'm sure he has one. I just think if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen the hard way.
No. He's going to bleed. What's the one thing Cody can do in a WrestleMania main event that probably hasn't been done? Hell, has it been done in the main event?
Come on, bleed and win?
Bleed, period. in a WrestleMania main event. Now that I'm thinking about it, like who bled it? I know Austin bled in what should have been the main event of 13.
Yeah, right.
In the actual last match.
The first thing that comes to mind was Austin, but it wasn't the main event.
Right. So in the history of main events, like who's bled in a main event?
I don't recall, because the main event in WrestleMania typically is not a gimmick. It's a straight up match.
All right. So 1, we know it wasn't 1. 2 had multiple main events. No one bled.
Oh, here he go.
No one bled at 3. No one bled at 4 because it was a tournament. Hogan and Savage. No one bled in that. 6, no one bled. It was Hogan Warrior. I think Hogan might have bled in 7 against Slaughter. I think that might have been it. Hogan and Sid Vicious was the end of 8. No blood. 9 is Bret Hart and Yokozuna, then Hogan, no blood. 10.
Although it should have been internal bleeding, but continue.
Yeah, internal bleeding doesn't count. Bret Hart and Yoko at 10. Diesel and Shawn Michaels at 11, no blood. 12 is Hart and Michaels, no blood. 13, Undertaker Vicious, no blood. Reportedly, there was another bodily fluid involved, but no blood. See, 14, Austin Michaels, no blood. 15, Austin Rock 1, no blood. 16, Fatal 4-Way. I don't believe anybody bled. I had to go back and watch that one. 17, no blood. Wait, did Rock bleed in 17?
I don't ever recall Rock bleeding.
It's only happened maybe once or twice.
That's what I'm saying.
So 18 is Triple H and Jericho, no bleeding. 19 was Lesnar and Angle, no bleeding. Massive concussion, no bleeding.
Broken freaking neck.
20 was, he who shall not be named. I don't know if Michaels might have bled in the Garden. Maybe. I'm not certain.
I don't recall him bleeding much either after he got his smile back.
Triple H bled in 21 against Batista.
Batista?
Yeah. 22 is Triple H and Cena. If Triple H is involved, blood is possible because he's a Ric Flair historian.
Yeah, but they neither one of them really had a reason to for 22.
Point taken. 23 is Cena and Michaels, no blood. 24. What was the closing match of 24?
What was 24? That was a really at the time looked like a really bad card. I'm trying to remember what was the final.
Yeah, it's not resonating. Was 24 Triple H and Orton?
Was it? Let me see here. That was in Orlando.
Okay.
Let me I'm jogging the memory here.
So that's Flair Michaels. That's
no, Cena, that was Edge Taker in a
Streak versus Streak.
Was it Streak versus Streak?
Was that the last match though?
It was definitely the last match. That was okay. Yeah. Orton was in the triple threat with Cena and Triple H. That was Money Mayweather and Big Show. That was what threw that whole stuff.
Yeah, I'm fuzzy on that time. So 25 is
the last match was Orton and Triple H.
Triple H, and it should have been Michaels and Undertaker. And then 26, last match, Michaels and Undertaker, no blood. I don't think anybody bled in 25 with Orton and Triple H either.
No. Because there was I don't know how many finishes were hitting the first 30 seconds.
Right, because they had to make up for what was going on. Like they got ran out.
You had Cena versus Miz, then you had Taker versus Shawn Michaels, then you had Orton versus Triple H.
I thought that was 27. 27 is Cena and Miz.
Who is Cena facing 25?
That don't give me the line. Is that the triple threat with Big Show and Edge?
Was it Show?
Show and Edge, I think.
It was. I must have went to take a piss or something during that one.
Come on, fam. When in doubt, just give me a couple seconds.
I was there. I don't know what I was on during that one. I think I was probably still on the high from Triple H and Undertaker. About Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
That's kind of how I go. So 26 is HBK retirement. 27 is Miz and Cena. No blood, massive concussion for Miz. 28, that's Rock and Cena 1. No blood. 29, Rock and Cena 2. No blood.
No blood.
30 is
Wrestlemania.
Yeah, Wrestlemania. No blood. 31, the greatest heist ever. No blood. Probably some internal bleeding from Roman, but
right.
Blood. 32, 32, Roman and Triple H. No blood. A lot of booze.
A lot of sleep too. A lot of Z's.
Yeah, a lot of Z's.
long day.
Boy, and I was there for it. 33, Undertaker, Roman, no blood. 34.
And no blood in the anything goes match.
I mean, sometimes it don't happen like that. So 35.
No, 34.
34 is WrestleMania. Oh, okay. There's blood. There's blood in 34 because Roman got split open.
Okay.
So there's another one.
Yeah, you guys coconut lit.
35. That's the women's main event.
Yes,
no blood, obviously. 36.
COVID Mania.
It's COVID Mania. Neither main event had blood, and I don't remember. See, the main event of night one. The main event of night one was a movie. So no one bled in that movie. And then the main event of night two.
Yeah.
No, but no one bled. No.
And there were two main events in night two.
What was the other one? One was Drew and Lesnar. What was the other one?
Drew versus Show. Remember after
that was the next night on Raw.
Was it?
Yeah. Or we either that or they didn't show it to us.
No, they didn't show it. It was bonus footage.
I'm good. we don't count that, and we don't deal with accusations.
Oh, Ross, talk to him, man. Oh, come on, man.
False accusations.
Yes, indeed.
Not finna do this with you. 37. 37 is what? We're back on two nights again. 37.
That was post-COVID Mania. That was quarter COVID Mania.
Quarter COVID Mania. So we never really got a Thunderdome WrestleMania. Or did we?
Yeah, that was 36.
That wasn't the Thunderdome. That was the PC.
But
I mean, a WrestleMania with the video wall.
Didn't we have? I thought we had people.
People were at 37. It was spread out. Remember, because that's
no 37. That was outside. I'm 36.
Yeah, 36 was indoors, but it was at the PC.
Okay, so that's right.
With the big ass fan,
the biggest fan in the history of professional wrestling,
the biggest fan in pro wrestling history. Damn, 37's main event was what?
That was Banks and
yes, it was. Okay, so
night
that's
one.
night one, no blood. Night two has to be what? Lesnar and who?
No, that was Chief, Edge, and Daniel Bryan.
Oh, because we are stacking people at that point. Okay, they had righted the ship. Thank you. So okay, no blood there. And then last year,
remember that was a month before Bryan put on that match, that damn Clinic Classic with Gulak
on the Intercontinental Championship tournament.
Yeah, and that was the last time we saw Gulak on TV. That was Daniel Bryan's swan song.
Well, then there's that. And then last year, no one bled. It's Austin Owens on night one, Reigns Lesnar on night two, no one bled. So as you can see, one, we know what we're talking about. Two,
that shit.
that's the first and foremost. We know what we're talking about. Secondly, bleeding in a main event for WrestleMania is not commonplace. So if you want to do something that you don't typically see,
Make a Malik. Pause.
Take it easy. Just pump the brakes.
Yo.
That is too far, too fast. That's too aggressive.
Too far, too fast, too furious. Wait, what?
Yeah, Cena will be in that too.
Absolutely.
You've got to observe some chill. But it would fit if Cody bled, because here's the thing: the image going off of television for the final night of WrestleMania is a triumphant champion, reveling in victory. So if the babyface is going over, do you want to have the lasting image be a man bleeding all over himself? No, but I'm asking that question as the people in the boardroom. As a pro wrestling fan, we don't care.
Yeah, we don't care, and it actually may add to the drama depending on how good the match is.
Right. For us, it's the theater, but for them, it's the theater of the show now, but it's also about the packaging of this moment going forward. You're going to have to show photographs of this over and over and over again.
Yep.
And you're going to use those photos and those images to sell branding, to sell
and promotional packages, because the production team in the E is undefeated.
You can't edit out blood from a person who has it from forehead to waistline.
And who wants black and white in 4K?
So I understand why people don't bleed more often, especially in main event situations, especially in WrestleMania main event situations. But this is Cody, who's a pro wrestling historian, who also, understands how and when to use blood. So I wouldn't be shocked, but I wouldn't be shocked either way. But if it was Jon Moxley, I guarantee you he'd try it. Probably wouldn't be successful at it, but he'd try it.
AI, as of this moment, AI has concluded that Roman Reigns has been champion for 943 days. In order for him to hit 1,000, he would need to remain champion up until roughly Memorial Day.
I ain't no problem with that.
I don't either. I have zero issue with that.
Peep this though. Speaking of the end of WrestleMania, and then I'm gonna let you go straight back to what you're talking about. But you know how?
Oh no, that was it. I just wanted to throw that tidbit in there.
Gotcha. So one of those, you know how we listen to outside content. We don't make any
there's no discriminations. Yeah,
we don't discriminate. We listen to good content regardless of where it comes from.
Yeah, dope is dope. We just don't hit it. Go ahead.
So one of our favorite shows, certainly one of mine, brought up this point. you know, because I look, sometimes I have to hear that uncut raw. But Brian Last kind of alluded, and it was a joking manner, but he brought up something that I didn't think about. We never heard Rocky go public and say, I won't be there.
So this was a topic of a conversation I wanted to have with you over the phone about 3 weeks ago, but go ahead.
But the scenario in which it was pitched that he would show up is like, wow. Throwback to WrestleMania 9, where you have the Bret Hart versus Yokozuna match. That match goes on. It happens the way it happens. And then at the end, good try, Terry comes out, makes the save, but ends up, becoming the champion. So we're like, the way he pitched it was like, Roman beats Cody, but then The Rock's music comes on, and then The Rock comes out and beats Roman.
So Rock has up until, what was the last pay-per-view? The last premium live event? Elimination Chamber?
Yep. Quebec.
Up until Quebec-a-Mania.
I like that.
Rock did not say a peep about all those reports about him allegedly being not in ring shape.
Yeah.
The week after it happened, the week after Quebec-a-Mania, he was like, I've never said that. What makes you think that I'm not in ring shape? Which is the same thing you and I have been saying. Like, how the hell is he not in ring shape when all he does is hit the gym? Like, we saw him for XFL opening week and was like, dear God, how is he not in ring shape?
So you're not in air quotes ring shape because you're not in the ring. And the cardio, the cardio of performing is different than anything you do on a Stairmaster or a elliptical or a treadmill or any of those, or just on a track.
You got to rebuild muscle memory for doing things like hitting ropes and taking bumps.
Right, because that, let's be honest, that is not normal human function and movement.
At all, and it shit hurts.
For real. So, that could be the surprise waiting in the wings. I'm not expecting it. You know what? As I've been saying the whole show, go into this with a sense of humor and don't have any expectations. Like, don't expect anything to be better than something else. Don't expect this to compare to this WrestleMania. Oh my God, this is the best WrestleMania since 17. Stop doing that.
If you're going out, lie bait. If you don't lie bait, at least eat.
Have a budget in mind. Like really spend some money on your comfort and enjoyment.
$100 is a nice WrestleMania night, whether it be at home or whether it be out at, as a few venues that are actually showing this joint, and all of them have adult entertainment, adult beverages, and food.
Yes.
So, and by adult entertainment, I don't mean women or men of the night. I'm not talking about that.
At some point, once they cut the check for this, we're gonna have like a contest where who can have the best WrestleMania party for $100.
Oh shit! That was me at 32, mind you. I was a week removed from knee surgery.
Oh, so you were loaded and libated, and fully fed.
Not only did we order pizza and drinks from the pizza shack, but the wife was in the kitchen cooking up that good. So we had a spread, and we needed it because the show started at 4, and you didn't leave the building until after 11 Central Time.
Look, that's what kept me from going to either night of 38, because I was like, it took me almost as long to leave the venue as it did to watch the show. Like dead ass. Like for those of you who know about Cowboy Stadium, like you would have been better served to pay to park at Chick-fil-A,
which is 3 blocks down the street,
or Boomer Jacks, or hell, you could have parked on the other side of Collins, like across I-30 on the other side,
on the north side of Collins. Yeah,
just park at the Waffle House and then walk up and then walk back. You'd have done better than trying to park anywhere within a 2-mile radius of the stadium.
I've been over there during country concerts, not like on accident, not even realizing it's some big name like Blake Shelton or even what's my man, Clint Black. Like you might have a huge name that goes over, Garth Brooks.
Shout out to Quint Black while we at it.
They're right on Funky Town. Suppose these shows have golf cart shuttles. You know they're getting active for 105,000 wrestling fans because they don't believe wrestling is going to pack in that many people.
Oh, first but they did.
But when you see them and they need help,
I'm willing to say that like that 103,000 was legit because I was there.
All the signs that I've seen as far as like on TV and like all that points to not capped at all, not like, nowhere near.
Okay, even if it is capped, if it's capped by 10 or 15,000, because that's about as much as you're going to be able to pad some numbers by, that's still 90,000+ people in one spot. So imagine all of those people trying to leave, navigate to their vehicles, and drive out. Boy, fuck you.
Boy, no thanks.
I had a great time. It was my first WrestleMania, but I'm gonna need some. We're gonna need to be in a suite for me to think about doing that again.
Yeah, Sweet Life is what it is. Any surprises that we're gonna see outside of Mania for like Raw that you're thinking?
If this Jay White rumor is true, you might see him debut. I feel like AJ Styles will probably be back on the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania.
It would be dope to see AJ versus Jay White. That would be a dope ass match for Monday Night Raw.
How about this? Take it a step further. Jay White is a member of the club.
Ooh.
You see what I'm talking about now? See how we can really get some popping?
It is rumored that Wolverine is out of contract.
So, okay, there's this internet story that scuttlebutt that is kind of snowballed its way into being almost an expected outcome, where the whole situation that's going on with Bray Wyatt, where he has not been mentioned, none whatsoever in the last few weeks. It's reports go from everything from a health issue all the way through, certain producers being let go and him not being happy with the creative and basically, taking his ball and going home. We haven't heard any confirmation one way or the other. But what we do know is that Bobby Lashley has also not been on television and has not been rebooked in any sort of a match. So the story goes Brian Cage would be the challenger for Bobby Lashley.
That would be interesting.
No,
but But
no, it would not.
Let's talk about this real quick.
Okay.
The appearance on paper,
Not even on paper, but go ahead.
Just hear me. The appearance on paper may be something where a diehard fan that looks for something big, sweaty man slapping meat.
Pause.
That's the illusion that on paper gives you. But if you put Bobby Lashley in the ring next to Brian Cage was 5'10".
Thank you for saying what I was waiting to say.
And Bobby Lashley has always been over 6 feet tall. Brian Cage just looked like it because of who he was in the ring against.
So Cage is listed as 6 feet even. 6 feet even, 272. Bobby Lashley is listed as 6'3", 273. So maybe this isn't as lopsided as I think it would be in the ring.
He's still looking down on Brian Cage.
Oh, I mean, he's gonna look down on most people.
Do you have anybody in WWE nearly the size of Bobby Lashley?
Yeah, his name's Lesnar.
Okay. Lesnar is corn-fed. Bobby's just on them weights.
A little bit of both. I mean,
Okay.
And then we do know Brock has experimented with, stuff.
But by and large, Brock 295, Bobby Lashley now hovering around 270, 275. Okay. Whereas a year ago he was like close to 240.
And then he was thinking about getting involved in a storyline where he would get massively obese,
like 70, 80
just to work it off.
Yeah, just to work it off.
You playing them games, you almost 50. That's how you know.
What's Brian Cage's weight?
What I see from doing my Googles is 272. So they're comparable in height and weight. I just don't think it's gonna look like that. I don't think it is either, man. I think he's more 5'10".
Doing things. Yeah, I think WWE has a different way of doing things, and that 5-inch difference will show on television.
But either way, even if he is physically comparable, what is it about Brian Cage that makes you think that's the guy to walk out in front of Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania?
I think you would have the most underwhelming moment in WWE history for WrestleMania if you have Brian Cage walk out there, especially with the treatment they gave Johnny Gargano. I'm not saying that they're the same person, but Johnny Gargano was revered and got no reaction on Monday Night Raw, not even 2 weeks ago.
That's because he has burnt all his currency with the garbage that they were putting together.
Now give him the same currency that got burned up.
Speaking of which, where's Dexter Lumis?
Oh,
see, wow. You see what I'm saying?
Brian Cage,
career killer.
Yeah. Brian Cage has no currency.
And it's not a knock against Brian Cage. It's just people.
WWE. It's fickle. It's WWE universe.
The crate diggers in the audience like us will be like, "Oh shit, they actually got it."
But there's nothing about Cage that reeks AJ Styles in the Royal Rumble. There's nothing about Cage that reeks the Hardy Boys returning at Mania.
And then, okay, to make matters worse, if you go Google Brian Cage after that, what's the most famous thing you're gonna see him for?
For Brian Cage?
Don't overthink this either.
I'm already overthinking this.
What did he do in Impact?
The World Championship?
Who did he lose it to?
I don't know.
Who was the first woman to ever be Impact World Champion?
Was it Jordan Grace?
No, I think it was Tessa Blanchard.
Tess, that you're absolutely right.
So what you're gonna end up seeing if you Google Brian Cage, for the casual fan who has no clue who he is, the most famous thing he's done as a professional wrestler, other than debuting at WrestleMania, would have been losing to Tessa Blanchard to crown a women's world heavyweight champion. Wow. So again, not a knock against Brian Cage. We're just dealing with optics. We're dealing with people who put the bigger picture together, not just the stuff inside the ring, but the actual marketing, the packaging. How are you going to handle this on the next night?
And now people are going to be looking like, who is Tessa Blanchard?
Facts. And nobody wants that to happen.
Oh man.
Especially when it's somebody you don't have signed.
Quick hit real quick. You asked me on the agenda where Swerve is.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can address that. I was gonna say, give me 5 people who can wrestle Bobby Lashley other than Brian Cage, and it actually makes sense.
And it makes sense.
Okay, either makes sense because it's a matchup you want to see, or makes sense just because it's not somebody walking in off the street that you've never seen. You know what? Oh, I'll start it off. Since you want to have a mystery opponent for Bobby Lashley, you want to debut somebody, Ron Breakker.
So that's the only person that comes to mind for a couple of different reasons. But the reason why I wouldn't do it on night one is because he's busy on day one. Bron Breakker is.
So
Stranger. I can't have him lose the title and then come and work WrestleMania that night.
Why?
I'm just that doesn't reek of smart business to me, even as a stand-in.
That would reek of perfect business to me. You tell me that like he's so pissed off that he just lost the title to Carmelo Hayes that he showed up at WrestleMania to challenge Bobby Lashley, and if you gave him a fluke victory, get this money. Yeah,
I'm about to say he would have to win. That's the only way that works. He has to win against Lashley.
Bobby bulletproof enough he can give up a win to Braun. They can work a program.
This is wishful thinking. Here's another one.
All of this is wishful thinking.
I don't think we can get the 5 though, but here's wishful thinking.
Okay.
A healthy Big E.
That's got to be a flash victory.
That's a top 5 moment too. If you do that.
Oh, my eyes might sweat.
How can you edit the tears, bro?
Like, my eyes might sweat. If Big E has anything to do with WrestleMania in a physical form, my eyes might sweat.
My wife, God bless her, loves her some Big E from going back to when he was with Punk and AJ, bro. And I'm telling you,
in my newly acquired ripe old age, I have become more sensitive to seeing people.
Listen, a good horn hit followed by a violin on a Disney movie is going to trigger an Onion show. Like,
bruh, I'm gonna be eating the spiciest wings of all times because all of this gonna be ruined.
In case of emergency, break out hot sauce and you just go throw that shit.
Oh. Shaking. I gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah, like for real. It's not gonna be all out balling. It's gonna be that it's gonna be that
end of glory, that proud child.
That end of Disney movie dad cry. Yeah, when you kind of be holding it, but you kind of feel the quiver.
Yeah, she was dope.
I had that moment at the end of Cruise. Nah, dead ass when they thought Dad didn't make it across the canyon.
Yo,
I was like, damn, bro.
I'm so sick of getting emotionally attached to like horn hits and violence.
Getting old is something else, bro. Like for real.
Flat notes, bro. Oh, stop it.
I would have straight out of stone faced it. Like in my 20s, I'd have stone faced all of that. Anything 30 and up, I'm like, damn, brother.
40. And you were asking me, this is deflection. You were asking me about 40-year-old shit about a month ago.
Exactly.
That it wasn't that. It was probably the mirror opposite of that, but you get what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It happens.
Exactly.
You were asking me about Swerve and Keith Lee.
Because our guy ain't been on television in weeks.
So my thing is, I figured Keith Lee and Swerve would have finally did their thing at
Revolution. That was
no. I was actually thinking more so Supercard of Honor.
Why? They're not. Neither one of them are Ring of Honor talents.
Keith Lee was affiliated with Shane Taylor, and STP is reforming. So it seems.
Shane would never have let Keith Lee walk out of the house with his hair that color or that damn cloak. Try again.
Then there's that. I can tell you that if Creative is betting the farm on whatever Swerve is doing with Macy
Nine.
are
No. Did you see the last Rampage?
no. What I did hear about, I hear Tech Nine popped up.
Right. So apparently both Parker Boudreaux and Scribbleface are. Wait, what did we call them? The law offices of. Damn. What
What was dude's name?
we never knew. Oh, we did look it up. I forgot.
No.
They haven't mentioned it.
He has a wrestling name too.
Yes, Boudreaux and something, but it was the law offices of Boudreaux and something else.
What is his name?
I don't know.
I'm digging for it. I'm about to find it.
Please pause for station identification.
I'm about to find it. What is his name?
I have not the slightest clue.
No. Okay, hold on. I
Because he
found
was like, wasn't he like a double-A baseball player?
Yeah, I found AAA for the Rays. I found his real name. I'm gonna find his wrestling name. It's exact that would help me. Come on, man. I quit seeing these pictures.
The law offices. Damn, I wish I could remember what we called it.
God, oh man, this is pitiful.
We named that team and it was perfect.
It was perfect game, but they weren't around long. You won't be around next year, boy.
Well, Kanos
Trench was his name. I think it was the law offices of Boudreaux and Getzman.
Nah, that's too perfect. It couldn't have been Getzman. Whatever it was, like
Getzman is his real last name. So
look, we're gonna go find that because it wasn't that many episodes ago. We'll find it, we'll have it on the next show. But yes, Swerve got to get more airtime. Like, I don't understand what we're doing, but apparently both Boudreaux and Getzman are both injured. So that's why they haven't been on television.
And
so
I'm like, how?
Tech Nine was there to speak on, when Swerve was cutting his promo, but he said something about new affiliates. And I'm like, what we doing? So hope for the best.
Remains to be seen. Matt Jackson apparently nursing a torn triceps. As much as I would like,
I swear it sounds like you finna say torn crotch
from a super kick party. As much as I would like to,
because that would be how you do it,
right? As much as I would like to say bye, I can't because there's an injury involved. I can say that I'm looking forward to my time without seeing the Bucks on television.
But apparently, reportedly, he's not opting in for surgery because, plans are plans and sometimes plans change, as we've heard from Cranberry Mimosa.
If the BCC has anything to say about it, they're going to expose that torn triceps and see how far they can tear it off the damn bone.
I mean, Kenny got kinesiology tape everywhere except between his eyes. Like, it's getting rough. Like, the elite been taking a lot of ass kickings lately. I will say, because there's the House of Black that got on their ass. Then they end up dealing with the JAS for a second. And now the Blackpool Combat Club is stomping mud holes in their ass.
Kenny got dog walked by Hijo del Vikingo.
Bam. We messed up so much money doing that on free television. I'm not upset about it because the match was great, but the business was like, bruh, and do you realize what we could have done?
Let me say this too. You cannot have an international talent like Hijo del Vikingo come in, do video game cheat code moves,
and lose.
Dog walk a revolutionary talent in Kenny Omega and lose on free television
for free. That was a Forbidden Door main event. Like,
let me tell you something. That match could have been match of the year on pay-per-view because Kenny would have gotten more offense in.
Give them something they gotta pay for. You showed 3-4 weeks straight of Vikingo vignettes about all the greatness that he does across the world. Then you get Kenny back into best bout machine mode, which it seems like that's where he is now. And then just have them face off and do the exact same match, or hell, put some variation on it at Forbidden Door. People would have gladly spent $50 and then told a friend that they needed to spend $50 to see it.
Let me spoil this for you real quick.
What the deal?
Anyone thinking that Hijo del Vikingo versus Kenny Omega on AEW Dynamite was a match of the year, go yourself.
Dude, when you get the button.
Ben had the button.
I want one of them. I mean, man, come on, bro.
Go yourself.
Well played. PAFN.
Whoa.
WYBA.
Whoa.
You just told me. You just told me to go intercourse myself, and you don't expect these slugs to start flying. This chair slides back. The man in it stands up. We've been telling you this. We've been telling y'all this since episode 8.
Yo, this is on par, on brand, if you will, for a WrestleMania go home, Broken Pencil BC, and whatever smoke you got for us, bring it. Show at brokenpencilbc.com, brokenpencilbc@gmail.com. That's at Broken Pencil BC on all things social, at Broken Pencil BC on what?
Everything.
Welcome to our ignorance on YouTube. Suave, did we miss anything?
I don't think so. I mean, they know who to follow, they know where to follow, they know that YouTube is going up. So yeah, I think we told them everything they needed to know.
If you catch this big fluffy gray beard and these Burberrys walking around the streets of Funky Town, Fort Worth this weekend with my A5 brothers, please believe I'm stepping in with my boots on and I'm acting a damn fool. That's what we do.
Let me before we get out of here, let me say this.
Here we go.
No. I ain't even finna be long-winded about this. The spoilers that are being posted online and the media reporting that is leaking these stories and these photos and these different situations.
First off, stop calling yourselves media. Go ahead.
That's first. Second of all, stop spoiling shit that we actually don't want to have spoiled. Don't show me the set of WrestleMania, especially if it's not done. That means your ass is there working and you're not doing your job. If you in there with camera access to be posting, oh, this is what the set looks like. Motherfucker, if you don't pick up this truss and help load it over here.
I'm so sick of these spoiled motherfuckers thinking that.
You forgot your button.
My bad. See, you got me worked up. That these people backstage who don't belong backstage or may not be backstage is news. Leave it where it is. Talk about it after the fact. You might be messing up money.
Of course you're messing up money, but you don't care because you feel entitled to do it because you have a smartphone doing dumb shit.
No one's clicking on your site anymore. Relax.
You want to tweet out a picture of the set an hour before showtime or like a half hour before the pre-show starts? Cool. 2-3 days before night one of WrestleMania where like nothing is assembled, it's just an arena full of people and there's a video wall. That's not breaking news. The whole we're going back to the retro or the OG Hell in a Cell cage. Well, it's not OG because we'll never see that one again.
Ever.
Ever. For so many reasons. But a retro style Hell in a Cell cage, or even just the new version of Hell in a Cell, just not red. I don't need the photo. We've already heard the story. Like, let some stuff breathe. Like some stuff, like if Brandy is gonna come out with Cody, I don't need to know that.
If the dog is gonna come out with Cody, I don't need to know that either.
Don't need to know that. And considering how much pyro Cody has, that's probably not gonna happen anyway. If Diamond Dallas Page is gonna walk Cody to the ring, I don't need to know that.
I'm about to say, if the entire Nightmare Family collective, including Dustin, is cleared to come and walk Cody to the ring, I don't need to know that.
If the entire Anoa'i family is going to walk out onto the stage and welcome Roman in during his entrance, I don't need to know that.
If there's going to be a family blood ceremony where there's lays involved in the passing of the torch again, I don't need to know that.
I want better, bro.
I don't even need to know if Vince is in Gorilla.
What difference is it gonna make if you know?
Ask DraftKings.
Yeah, get out here playing with DraftKings if you want to. Like, that's the only reason I would need to know for betting purposes. Okay, Vince back in charge for real? Okay, well, he ain't gonna win.
I'm taking all. Matter of fact, I'm deleting this. Let me delete this app real quick.
See that? Like, just chill on the spoilers unless you have real news. Like, you doing clickbait and you clout chasing. Just don't do that. That's not cool.
Just relax. We'll catch you after New Year's Day, and enjoy your Merry Christmas.
Indeed.
And shit, Suave, take them to the house.
Pencil pushers. Heads up. Pencils down.
You know what it is.